Alright, good morning everybody. And one more button here. Good morning. It's me with my sleepy dog this morning. Do some figure studies, I think, today. How are we doing this morning? I gotta jump on these things earlier in the morning again. Maybe that one. I feel like that one's full figure. There we go with that one. Too high. All right. Good morning, people popping in. Look at that. I got a spammer over there on Kick. See if I can do something about that real quick. Alright, let's go back to this here. Push this over a little bit. Zoom in a little bit overhead. Not that much though. Good morning. There's another one, huh? Let's see, can I delete these off of here? There we go. That fixed that up, I think. I think I know why these bots are popping up. Oh, good morning, Mr. Fox. All right, give me that bite from yesterday. Good morning. Doing a little costume study this morning from reference. Good morning, people popping in. How are we doing? Good morning. It's the Good Morning Show, right? Good morning. Draw a car for 100 subs, huh? 10 minutes. What do the kids say? Press X to doubt. I'm in the middle of this drawing. Starting what? Maybe after I'm done with this drawing. Air start? What does air start mean? Alright, I'm 18 minutes in. So. And we got a little perso here. Mm-hmm. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Alright, let's do some inking practice on this. Yeah, not plugged in our phone. Get that plugged in. There we go. Get you a little power. Good morning. Good morning. How's it rolling? How's Baston? Oh yeah? Yeah, I was surfing around on um, Amazon and spotted the Wake hardcover for $10. So that's the Sean Gordon Murphy book. Did with Scott Snyder. Story's a little convoluted in there, but it's art's great. And I also found a artist's edition of Hellboy in Hell. So Mignola's work in there, just his inks, and I guess a few other stories combined in there together as well. It's not full size. but it's the full pages, except that they're the inner parts printed at the full size of the comic book. So, which is kind of weird, but I guess why not? It's paperback. Yeah, it's definitely it's a good practice. I was doing that a while back. It's definitely a very good thing to practice with. Um, yeah, I think Richard Fred always recommends that kind of practice. Alright, what do we got going on here? Yeah, I've done a bunch of those. Just, I got some nice Bristol board and printed out a number of those. Actually, I just had to order. I was doing it at home. Probably be better just to do them on, like laser print or something at the school, and be cheaper. But I've been doing them on the inkjet printer I have here. So I had to drop some cash on some new ink recently. Another thing to do is like maybe not necessarily doing the whole page, but just like grabbing panels that you like, or faces or other things that you just like, you think would be worth practicing, and then grouping them up together on a single page can be a really good idea too for the practice side of things. I try to do is come up with some simple short scenes for me to practice with. Something I can do like 4 or 5 pages that I can complete in a week as practice as I kind of prep to get into that other story. Also, kind of got put on delay partially because of the extra teaching I have to do this semester, which kind of threw things off a bit for me. But oh wow, yeah, I go on like there's a couple websites that where people like post their scans of their collection. So that's where I get most of mine. I don't use the artist editions for the practice. I grab these images off these other sites. It's not Felix. Felix is the dealer, but there's a site where people can kind of post their collections for comics, and you can find all kinds of pencils and inks and all that up there. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of that site though. Yeah, what is the name of that site? Alright. Is it something comics? I can wash off this nib. I remember saving it somewhere. There. Let's see, is it over? Not there. Not here. Maybe it's in here? No, not that one. Comic art. Yeah, it's comicartfans.com. Yeah, comicartfans.com. Comicartfans.com. All one word. But you can search on there. People post their collections. Not everything is high res, but you'll see like a black bar at the bottom of the picture. And if you kind of right click on the image and open a new tab, it will it'll pop up there for you. But if you search up like say David Finch or Richard Friend or Jim Lee or McFarlane, whoever you want, not everything is high res, but a lot of it is. So people kind of post when they're selling stuff on there, so that's kind of what the site is for. Yeah, but yeah, definitely check it out. That's what I've kind of used for getting the stuff that I have. Um, I guess it's nice, if you grab someone's pencils, then you don't have to like rely on the tracing the inking. The tracing the inking can be really handy too, like trying to match how they make their brush strokes or their pen strokes, and all of that. But yeah, there might be better places out, but that's the one I found that you can search there. It's got definitely old school internet vibes running on the site there. It's like almost like a forum. It's like visiting John Burns' website. That'd be a good one to practice too. Is downloading his pencils off of his forum, and you know inking over those things, depending on the styles you're going for, of course. But yeah, but you can probably find the full res shots for a lot of that stuff up there. Yeah, GeoCities, Angel Fire. I don't remember that one, but yeah, GeoCities I remember. Or the old Yahoo front page. Sometimes those are the better places though to be, because it's like they're just really worried about the stuff being shown there. They're not fretting a lot about infrastructure. Yeah, John Burns sites were like really hard to navigate. You go there and you're like, all right, if I click on this button, what will happen? If I click on this button, what will happen? Yeah, it's kind of trial by fire in interface design. Similar, if you go to, it's not quite that old, but if you go to, do you know Donato Giancola is? Yeah, if you don't know Donato Giancola, he's a really amazing, mostly book cover illustrator. He's done some Magic cards, but he kind of fired Magic as a client due to some changes in contracts that he did not like. Um, but he does really amazing illustrations. He's an oil painter. But his website is very, very old school too. Yeah, oil painter. Um, I've met him a few times. I did a workshop online with him through one of those. I forget which one it was, but through one of the groups. Actually, pretty expensive. It's funny. People will talk about how like universities are really expensive, and it's cheaper to learn things online. That's sort of true. If you do want like the high end teachers like him, like I think that class was I want to say 10 weeks or something, and it was like $2,500. I got a lot out of it, but that's more expensive than a college class. Um, yeah, I mean, if you go like if you're just watching tutorials like my little site, that's really cheap. But if you're looking for like that contact with like you know big deal professionals, like they charge quite a bit, depending on who they're doing it through. It's funny that he like does it through an organization though, because it just seems like you could set it up all by yourself. That you don't really need that. But he's an incredible illustrator. The class is mostly about composition. It wasn't about oil painting. You can buy like his tutorials for oil painting on Gumroad. He has them listed on his site. It goes through his whole process of how he, comes up with his design and shoots reference and does his drawing and gets the drawing on the surface and how he paints it. Um, kind of decisions that he makes. Well, I think with like teaching, privately online, it's not that hard to kind of set up, and then you just you just add that into your income. If you're doing, if you've got like an LLC or an S corp. Um, yeah. So yeah, because it just seems like he'd be able to keep all of the cash, and it's just a Zoom class with like a Dropbox or a Google Drive. Like it's not that. So we just throw our stuff up in there. You probably just do a Discord too. Throw things in Discord these days. Um, but again, you have to kind of sit down and learn all that stuff. So maybe it's just he just hadn't thought about it. And it's like, oh well, I just have it set up, and then I can roll with what I got. The other thing that maybe they get to is like the promotion of it. That's probably the bigger thing, is just making sure the class fills properly. Yeah. Well, just like I think one of the things I found is like social media is great and everything, but it's the email list that's like the most important thing, like getting people on that for promotional purposes. Um, but yeah, so I started like tossing down some shorter stories. The problem is I start writing them and then it's like, oh, it gets really long. And then I was seeing somebody saying, oh, what you do for like, if you want to do like short comics as a practice thing, you just write an individual scene rather than a story. So I started putting together these stories. And I was like, these things are just, anytime I sit down, it's like, well, then this happens and this happens. And I'm like, it's not going to stay in that 5 to 10 page range very easily. Um, but yeah, it's I'd love to get a handful or a few of those done first. Yeah. Um, I guess the other thing you could do is you could do it a la Space Girl style, right? Where you do like a little strip and then you do the next strip and then you do the next strip. So you just like do, panel to panel to panel and just kind of see where you end up. It seems a bit random to me, but then again, in order for me to do that would seem random. But then you look at Travis Charest and he's like amazing. So, but that's he's someone who's already been working at a high level for a long time. I remember a few years ago he made this big deal about, I'm going to come back, I'm going to do all this Space Girl stuff, I'm going to finally tell the full story, and then like he didn't do any, which was really really funny. I have the little purple gray book or whatever he did for Comic Con like a long time ago. A friend picked it up for me while he was there. Um, but yeah, I always thought that was really funny that he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this. It's gonna be awesome, and y'all gonna love it, and then nothing. But yeah, I always thought that was pretty entertaining. But yeah, you know. So yeah, you know, it's good practice too, just to sit down and do that. So I've got the Dan Harmon story circle kind of written up, and that way I can just kind of plug things into that and see what comes out. But again, I've been looking at it. I'm like, I'm making these too long. Or even just like have it be a couple scenes long would probably be a good idea. Um, AIRS. What's the question there? Yeah, Victor. Yeah, not certain about the question there. Let's see. Yep, it's deleter number 2, white 2 from deleter. I get the stuff off of jetpens.com. There's probably other places you can get it, but they sell a lot of like a lot of manga supplies. So like how's the Bosch doing over here, huh? Yeah, I like that's what part of use the brown paper so I can use that stuff. People like it, on the comics, obviously, so you can drop that on there and do all kinds of effects. If it's wet enough, I think I can use it with a nib. Let's see how it goes. It's not great with the nib, at least not that one anyway, on this paper. But yeah, we're at about an hour. But I could bring over that Wake book I just picked up, or the Magnolia one. Let me grab that real quick. set this to the side. Make sure I get the date on here. I never want to forget. This is pin ref, so we've got 250403. Yeah, we're moving along, right? In this year. Let's see. Let's move that to the side. So here's the wake. Book going back up there. But I picked that up. Nice little hardcover. But it's got the all the usual Sean Gordon Murphy madness there. But this was $10 for a hardcover, which I liked. Kind of tells a story across two different times. The world gets flooded. There's these weird mermaids, and then it's in the future. But it's nice. It has a little bit of process stuff in the back here. I wouldn't mind more, but it's got like some thumbnails for the different covers that he was doing. So there's like the Wake 1 through 5 connecting covers. The inking in progress down there. It's really dangerous. He's got this. He's got a mug right there on top of his drawing, which is deadly. And then some sketchbook stuff, so some of the characters and how they would look. The mermaids on this page. The main characters here. So this is the girl in the past. This is the girl in the future. I guess they're related somehow. Something to do with aliens and all that. This guy who brings them on, and then there's some sketches over here of the mermaids or mermen, the mer creatures. Unfinished drawing there. It's got some stuff on the coloring. That's a good idea too, right? Taking the short stories and just illustrating them. I saw Jake Parker. He was saying one of the things that he likes to do or recommend as a practice is to throw on letters here, was to take someone else's story and then change the setting and character so it's his own characters, just as a practice method. And then he's done that multiple occasions. So different covers, I guess, for different things in the back here. But besides, I do wish it was like, I think I'd held off on buying this one because I'd hoped for a library edition or like the big ones that like Rick Remender does. But I just don't think that's going to happen. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and get it. But, there's a cyber dolphin. Finally, this book's like, it seems like Scott Snyder's, because that's the author on here, his modus operandi lately has just been like, how do we make this more extreme? And sometimes it just comes off a little silly to me. And then the other one, where did I stick that thing? I would have stuck it over here. It's not over there. It's not with you guys. Got too many books, right? Thought it would be with the McDonald books I stuck right there, but it's not. Might be downstairs, so if I can see if I can save that for another time when I bring it up. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to call it there. Thanks to everybody that came in. I wish I could find that book. I thought it was up here. It's kind of annoying that it's not. Probably just downstairs. Oh, I had to pick up this other one, Plunge, by, it's okay in terms of the writing, but it's Stuart Immonen. So I might like that one. But Plunge, it's a horror story. The thing is, like, the guy who wrote it, Let's see, Joe Hill. So it's like there's too many jokes in it. A lot of quipping, which kind of gets in the way of the story and the writing. But so otherwise, like, it's really good. You know, there's really great art in here by Stuart Immonen. But for some reason, just a lot of jokes. Sometimes they're weird just because they come from there's these guys that are infected by these weird aliens, and the aliens are the ones speaking, and they're telling jokes, which is weird because they're not really supposed to be human. But great stuff by Stuart Immonen. It's a different kind of story for him too, so it's like he doesn't usually do horror stuff. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to check out. Yeah, they kind of do it. I'm not sure when this came out, but it might make sense if it's just this like the time period around. Let's see, when was this originally released? Original series executive. This book came out. This came out in 2020, but when did the original series came out? Doesn't say there, but I wouldn't be surprised, if it was influenced, by what's his face, made the Marvel movies all super quippy. What's his face? Josh? Is it Josh? Yeah, again, just really great, great expressions and everything in here from Stuart. Hey, if they just like cut the jokes out, like it would read a lot better, or 80% of them on an edit. Yeah, it must be downstairs. I showed it. I think I was going to bring it to my students, or I was looking at it downstairs on the coffee table or something. But anyway, thanks to everybody that came in, and we'll talk to you later. And move on to whatever's next, right? how you feeling? Are you feeling okay? You seem like you're maybe not feeling so good. I don't know what's going on. You're like really happy, and sometimes you're really sad. And you're on the way, you're a good boy. You want your blanket? That makes it more or less comfortable. How are you doing, little puppy? How are you doing? Today is the short day. I'm just shutting down here, so sorry. Actually, I forgot to turn off the YouTube.